Okay. Uh, so in today's lecture, what we'll be seeing is we will be dealing with the other part of the power system. Okay. So in the last lecture, we have started with the power system. So in that we have seen about various components. What are the components which are used in the power system? So the power system mainly comprises of three components, starting with your generation part, followed by your transmission part, and finally it is about your distribution part. For the generation side, the power will be generated, and at the distribution side, it will be distributed to the consumers or the end users. In between the transmission and the generation, sorry, in between the generation and the distribution, the power has to be transmitted. So it is the responsibility of the transmission side to transfer the power from the generation side to your distribution side. Okay, so this is the overall outline of your power system. Okay, so in the last class we have seen about the transmission part. Okay, in the transmission part we have seen about the two different things, starting with your primary transmission followed by your secondary transmission. Okay, so in today's class, also we have covered about your overhead transmission and your underground transmission. We have covered it. So in today's lecture, we will be dealing with this agenda. So the agenda is that the first we will be seeing about the distribution side of the power system. So in the distribution side, there are two main parts, starting with your feeder, followed by your distributor. So we'll be seeing what is a feeder and what is a distributor. We'll be seeing. So the final thing of this lecture is about your substations. So you might have seen the substation at the various points. Okay, so in your town and in your city itself, you might have seen the EB stations. So those EB stations are all small substations. Okay, so we will get into the PPT part. So starting with the primary distribution. Okay, so the primary distribution. So again, the previous single line diagram, previous lecture, you can see the single line diagram. So up to 33 kV, it contributes to your secondary transmission. Okay, so this 33 kV up to this from your single line diagram, you can see this contributes to your secondary secondary transmission. Okay, so after this, it contributes to your distribution part. Okay, so here you can see the 33 kV, this 33 kV is stepped down to a 11 kV. Okay, so this 33 kV is stepped down to a 11 kV using a step down transformer. Okay, using a step down transformer in your substation. So the substation main functionality is about stepping up or stepping down your voltage. So it is performed in this substation. So here what they're saying is that the transmission lines are inner connected terminals at the large main substation from which the power is distributed to small secondary substations. So these small secondary substations are the entity or the things what you are seeing in your city. Okay, so here near Sivagasi, so near your there's a separate EB station, and in Virnar also that. So those and all contributes to the small secondary substation. Okay, so usually the voltage for this primary distribution will be varying from 11 kV to 132 kV. Okay, so moving on to the secondary distribution. So in the secondary distribution, so up to this part, primary distribution, we will be dealing with your three-phase, three-wire system. So this wire contributes to a three-phase, three-wire system. Okay. So after this only, what happens is that we'll be dealing with the, if you need a single phase means, we can tap the power from the three-phase system. Okay, so this is done in your secondary distribution side. Okay, so be clear. As I said, for the system, the up, up to your primary distribution, the power will be of a three phase. So after that three phase, that is after your primary distribution, we can tap the power for a single phase also. Okay. So here they are saying the circuit for the three phase generally will be for industrial load. So here for the industrial load, they will be making use of a 440 volt. Okay. So in your house or the domestic load, they will be making use of 230 volt. Okay. So again, this 11 kV will be stepped down. Okay, this 11 kV will be stepped down to either 440 volt, okay, or to 230 volt based upon the application, whether it is used for the house or whether it is used for the factory or industries. So based upon that, for the industries, they will be making use of 440 volt, and for the household or the domestic purpose, they will be making use of the 230 volt supply. So based upon that, they will be stepping down the voltage. Okay. So up to this, I think you might be somewhat clear. So this substation, okay, this substation, what you are seeing here, as the purpose, you can see these kind of substations in your cities. Okay. So moving on. So in the distribution system, there are three main parts. Okay, so three main parts. So you have to know about these three main parts. So the first one is your feeders, second one is your distributors, and third one is your service mains. Okay, so we'll be seeing about these. So as I said, it is of two types, your distribution system, primary distribution, secondary distribution. So your primary distribution will be making or operate with the high voltage, and whereas your secondary distribution will be operating with your low voltage. Okay. So for the low voltage distribution only, they will be making use of three phase four wire system. Okay, up to your primary, they will be using three phase three wire. So in your secondary, they will be making use of three phase four wire system. So here if you are seeing means, so for your what you can say, for your households and all, they will be making use of this three phase four wire system. So this three phase four wire system is nothing but three phase system. Okay, it is nothing but a three phase system. So R Y B, right? So R Y B. So this is your three phase three wire system. For a three phase three wire system, it will be only your R, Y, and then B. Okay, so it will be like this. But in case of your three phase four wire system, there will be a separate wire, and this wire is for your neutral. So this wire contributes to your neutral point. Okay? So this is your three phase three wire system, and this is your three phase four wire system. So in the domestic load, what we are using in our household and all will be falling under this category, three phase three wire system. Okay. So next, moving on, the three main parts. So feeder, distributor, service main. So we will be seeing about this. Okay. So starting with the feeder. So what is a feeder? So this feeder, so this is the distribution system. This is the entire distribution system. So here you can see the feeder. Okay, so this is the feeder part. So what they're saying about the feeder is it is a conductor. So it is a normal conductor which connects your substation or the generating station to the area where the power to be distributed. So these are the conductors which carry large currents. Okay. So here in this figure, S is a substation, SA and SC are the feeders. So here for the understanding, what I can say is that, so here there is a substation. Okay. So here near there is a power plant, thermal power plant near Erichanattam. Okay. So it is, so in the Erichanattam there is one thermal power plant. Okay. So you can take this list. So this thermal plant will be having a substation. Okay, this will be having a substation. So the power from this substation will be transmitted to the nearby area. Okay, so nearby areas means you can take Virudhunagar and Sivagasi. Okay, and Sivagasi you can take. Okay, so to the nearby villages of Virudhunagar and Sivagasi, so this will be supplied. So the main wire which is used for supplying the power from your substation to the nearby areas like Virnar and Sivagasi is nothing but your feeder. Okay. So this is what you have to know about. And in this feeder, okay, and in this feeder, the main thing is that it carries large currents. Okay. So the current flowing through these feeders will be very, very large. Okay. Because before this and all, before the substation part, what generally we'll be doing is we'll be having a very high voltage of about more than 11 kV. So in this 11 kV, what if you are seeing means the current will be minimum. The current will be minimum. But after this substation part, what happens is that this 11 kV will be stepped down to a 440 volt or 230 volt. So in such case, the voltage will be decreasing. So for the proper carrier of power, the current will be rapidly increasing. So that's the concept here. So this feeders will be carrying a very large currents. Okay. It is a conductor from which tappings are taken for supply to the consumers. Okay. So here what you can see is that the power will be coming to this area. Okay, for example, you can see take it as a Virnar. So in Virnar, okay, so in Virudhunagar, again it will be given to the EB station. So here there is a EB station, right? So from this EB station, it has to be given to your house. This households will be powered through your distributor. So the wire used for the carrying of power from your EB to your households is nothing but your distributor. Okay. So this part contributes to your feeder. So it is your feeder part, and this part, that is through the distributor, it is possible to take your tapings. Okay. So that's what our EB and all will be doing. And here there's a service means they have given. So this service mains are nothing but a small cable which connects the distributor to the consumer terminal. So that is the power which is reaching to your house. It's nothing but your service mains. So here you might have seen the main box, main distribution box at the front of your house. So those distribution box and all will be contributing to your service mains. Okay. So the current loading in the distributor will be varying based upon the length. Okay. So based upon the length, the current value also will be changing. So you'll be seeing about this thing in your unit 2. Okay. The classification of the distribution system. So again, it can be classified into two types. One is starting with your overhead line, followed by the underground. Okay. So the same thing what you have studied in the transmission part, you can is applicable for your distribution part also. So these are the normal classification. You can just go through it. As I said, it is of a three-wire. So this is for DC, and for the AC, this of three-wire system, and then the three-phase four-wire system. About the system connection. So the system connection is of three types, starting with your radial, then ring main, and then the interconnected system. So in this first unit, you just have to know about what overview of these systems. Okay. So starting with when the distributor is spread at one end, okay, when the distributor is spread at one end, then it is called a radial distribution system. So this is the single line diagram. So here you can see the distributor from the substation, it is directly given to the distributor. Okay, so this distributor is nothing but your EB station. Okay, you can take the distributor as your EB stations, and from the EB station, if it is a single way, okay, if it is a single way means then it to the consumer, then it contributes to the radial system. So in more or less in the commonly we'll be making use of this radial system. Okay, moving on to its advantage. So its initial cost is minimum. So as the initial cost is minimum, we'll be preferring radial system only. This is employed when the electrical energy is generated at the low voltage. Okay, so low voltage means here 230 volt bar 440 volt. Okay, and the main thing is it has to be situated near the load. Okay, so that is an industry is there. So it is an industry. It is a load. Okay, it is the load. If the distribution, that is the generation part, is nearer to the load, means we'll be making use of this kind of radial system. Okay. So the main disadvantage is that the end of the distributor nearest to the supply end would be heavily loaded. Okay, so the end of the distributor will be heavily loaded means if there are more number of loads connected to this distributor means, and it consumes more amount of current means, then this distributor will be heavily loaded. So that's the main disadvantage over here. The consumers at the distant end of the distributor would be subjected to serious voltage variations. So as more number of loads will be connected, so there will be voltage variations maximum. Okay. So next is the ring main. So ring main, here they didn't give the diagram. I'll be just drawing it out. So the distributor is applied by the two feeders. It's called a ring main distributor. So here, if it is a distributor means, so here it is a substation, and here it is a substation, and if it is fed by the two distributors means, so sorry, two feeders means, then it contributes to your ring main system. So this feeder closes on itself. So here you can take it like this, or it can be this fashion also. Some of the ring main systems will be in this kind of system. So this will be your distributor, and it will be connected in this fashion. Okay, so here it is a single distributor, and it is having two feeders. So it is forming like a ring like structure. Okay, so the main advantage of this is greater reliability. So reliability means it is more safe. Okay, you can trust it. So reliability refers to trust. Okay, so here if any one of the feeder is cut out, then the other feeder can power the distributor. So it will be of greater reliability. Okay, this is the main advantage. So next is the interconnected system. So this interconnected system, the feeder ring is energized by two or more generating stations. So here you can see, so it will be energized to two or more substations. Okay, that is the generating part will be connected to more substations. Okay, to be like this. That is a substation will be having more than one generating unit. Okay, so this will be contributing to your interconnected system. So next is regarding your substation. Okay, so we'll be dealing with the substation, and with that we'll be closing the lecture. So substation is nothing but a part of an electrical generation, transmission, and distribution system. So in all the three parts, all the three segments or the domains, you'll be making use of your substations. Okay. So the main usage of your substation is that it transforms the voltage, as I have already said many times. It transforms the voltage. That's the main functionality of the substation. Okay. Also, in case of some DC substations, it can reverse the polarity. Okay. So between the generating station and the consumer, the electric power may flow through several substations at different voltage levels. Okay. So a substation will be includes the transformers. Okay. So transformers is the main part in the substation. Okay. Next is it will be having a SCADA. You have to know about what is a SCADA. So this SCADA is nothing but a overlooking system. Okay, so if you are having more than, for example, you can take a class. Okay, in the class there will be, for your class itself you can take. So in a class, if there are 23 students, means you can take this 23 students as a 23 substations. Okay, 23 substations you can take. So these 23 students will be overlooked by a mentor. Okay, so they will be overlooked by a mentor. So those mentors here you can take it as a scalar unit. Okay, so they'll be overlooked by two mentors, and these mentors will be overlooked by a chairperson for that class. Okay, so here these 23 students will be having 15 students. That is, the each mentor will be having 15 students, and then the 15 students. So the operation of this mentors are to overlook these 15 students. Similarly, if there are 23 substations, means these 23 substations you can again divide. Okay, so here it is not 15. Okay, so it is 8, sorry. Okay, it is 8. You can take 8 students. Okay, so here you can see the 15 substations you can take, and here again you can divide this into 8. Okay, so these two categories will be overlooked by separate SCADA, and these SCADA units will be overlooked by a control center. Okay, so now I think you will be somewhat understanding about this structure. Okay, so for that only we'll be making use of the SCADA, and these SCADA can be controlled. That is, for example, in case of the shutdown period, so you have to for in syllabus and all, normally Saturdays will be the shutdown period in 1 month. So during the shutdown period, what they'll be doing is they'll be entirely switching off the units. Okay. So that kind of controls will be given through this SCADA unit. Okay. I think you have got some idea about your SCADA unit. So moving on to the structure. So these are the parts what you can see in your substation. Okay, so if you're going to a substation means here you can see. So starting with the transmission line. So this transmission line will be of in kilovolts. Will be carrying the voltage in kilovolts. Okay. So from the substation, so mainly you can take it, for example, you can take it in as a secondary substation, secondary transmission system. Okay, secondary transmission. From the secondary transmission it's coming. Then this structure is for the protection part. Okay, so in protection and switchgear you will be studying. So it is nothing but the oil circuit breaker. So circuit breakers are used for reducing the fault. If any kind of fault is occurring in the transmission line means the fault can be that is the system. This entire system can be isolated through this circuit breaker. Hence, the system can be made safe. Okay, so this is a protection device, and this lightning arrestor is also a protection device. So first, directly it will be given to the protection device. Okay, after that, this is the transformer. So the transformer, this 34 kV will be stepped down to a 11 kV. Okay. So after this, the voltage has to be regulated. The step down, the voltage which is just step down has to be regulated using the voltage regulators. Okay. So after this, okay. So after this, there will be a switch gear, again a protection device. This is a protection device. So after this only, they will be giving to the next part of the power system, that is the distribution lines. Okay, so here you can see the line what we are getting at the input and the difference between the line what we are getting at the output. So these lines will be carrying a very heavy voltage when compared to this kind of distribution lines. Okay. So that is the main difference between the transmission part and your distribution part. I think somewhat you might have got some idea about the equipments in your substations. Okay. Next, they have given about the transmission substation, so you can just read it out. So this are all, or understanding I have given. So you just read it out. So next is about the distribution substation, mainly based upon the three domains they have classified. They have given this classification. So here you can see the diagram is very much clear. Okay, so these are the parts they have given. So what are the components in a substation means you have to write these things. Okay. So these are the main components: conductors, CTPTs. So these CTPTs, for what they'll be using means we'll be studying in the measurement and instrumentation subject. So this current transformer is used for measuring the current. Okay, the measuring the transmission line current. So this potential transformer is used for measuring the voltage value. Okay. So next is the line isolators, bus isolators. So these are all safety precautions. Safety precautions, and circuit breaker will also be falling for the safety. And whereas this capacitor bank is used for maintaining your power factor. So your power factor is maintained through this capacitor bank. So you have to keep your power factor to unity, which you might have studied in your uh, circuit theory. So why we are making as a unity? What is the need to have a unity power 55 meter study in your machines as well as your circuit theory? Okay, so for that purpose, we'll be making use of the capacitor banks. Okay, so the possible questions what they'll be asking is the possible questions from this lecture, what they'll be asking about your main components of the power system as 13 mark. Okay, then different components in the substation they'll be asking as a 2 mark. Then differentiate between a feeder and a distributor they might be asking in terms of your 8 mark, sorry, not 8 mark, they'll be asking as a 6 marks. Okay, so I think with this we can complete this lecture. And